Okay, welcome. I'd like to call this council meeting to order. If you would please.
We have to come out of,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. Mr. Shields?
we were in executive session until 7:02, and we are now back in finance, and I'll make a motion to adjourn finance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Finance is adjourned. Okay, now, I'd like to welcome everybody to the council meeting. If you please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Rose.
Yes, here.
Shields.
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Coin.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Hazeltine.
Present.
Lamb.
Yes, here. Yes.
Reading of the minutes.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of April 10th, 2023, as prepared and submitted by the clerk, be approved.
Second.
Any discussion on the approval of the minutes? Will the clerk please call the roll on the approval of the minutes?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Reports of standing committees. The Finance Committee met prior to the council meeting and will again meet in 2 weeks, and there are several items, of course, on the agenda. Health, Safety, and Sanitation, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Planning on having a health and safety and sanitation meeting prior to finance on May 8th. We'll discuss a request from the police department for adding another communication specialist, and also a discussion about underground sanitation containers submitted a long time ago by Mr. Lamb, and Mr. Picoli is going to try to get some numbers together for us prior to that meeting, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Public Properties. Mr. Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Public Properties Committee has been working through the Helios project, and that came to finance tonight and will now move on to council, but we have no other meeting scheduled and no other report this evening.
Thank you. Special Legislation, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report, but 2 meetings scheduled. The first meeting is at 5 o'clock on May 10th, and on the topic for the meeting is on the Uptown parking study. And the second meeting is at 5 o'clock on May 15th, and that is for the proposal on feeding wild animals.
Thank you. Streets and Sidewalks, Ms. Hare.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report, and I have no future meetings scheduled at this time.
Thank you. Water and Utilities, Ms. Hazeltine.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing new to report and no meeting scheduled at this time.
Thank you. Emerging Technologies, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, nothing to report.
Requests for council action. We have several for finance. We have 2393 advance requests, 2394 budget amendments, 2395 increased expenditure for Let's Make a Difference, 2396 Castle Noel parking agreement extension, and 2397 purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 truck for the Parks Department. Reports of municipal officers. Mayor Hamwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. The 2022 City of Medina Annual Report is posted on the city website, which is www.medinaoh.org. And from the front page, if you go to news, there's a link there for the annual report that takes you right there. And I'm thankful and appreciative of the staff, administration, and council's efforts in providing the many exceptional services to our community. On April 16th, from 1 to 3, there was a community pinwheel walk to draw attention to the prevention of child abuse. After proclamations were presented by the city and the county, the group marched over to Medina County Library lawn and planted 595 pinwheels. Each pinwheel represents a new child abuse or neglect case that was opened in Medina County in 2022. There are also pinwheel gardens posted at various locations in the county to bring attention to April as Child Abuse Awareness Month. And joining me from the city were Police Chief Ed Kinney and Economic Development Director Kimberly Marshall. They both serve on the board for the Children's Center. The National Day of Prayer breakfast this year is going to be at Cornerstone Chapel, Thursday, May 4th at 6:30 in the morning. The only way to register and pay is online, And if you go to www.medinandop for National Day of Prayer.org, you can register and pay for the breakfast. And then there are going to be various prayer stations throughout the city from noon to 7. And the reason for that is rather than ask people to come to the prayer locations, these, excuse me, these different locations were identified as places people are going to go anyway. For example, a Chick-fil-A or cutting through the square at lunchtime, things like that. So they're going to serve the people that are interested right where they are. I'm sad to report to the community and to City Council, Pastor John Peterson from the Fellowship Baptist Church on West Liberty Street passed away yesterday morning, and he was the pastor and served our city in that capacity at Fellowship for over 40 years. And our thoughts and prayers to his family. And I shared with Pastor Wilson, who is here, as well, if the city can do anything to assist either the family or the church, we would do that. And last but not least, I'd like to invite up Kimberly Marshall, our Economic Development Director, and Jacqueline Ringstmeyer, who is the Executive Director of the Medina Area Chamber of Commerce, for a proclamation. We also invited George Sam, but he had a conflict come up and was not able to make it, so we have a proclamation for each. And the importance of each is that collaboratively, the city, the chamber, Main Street, our state officials, our county officials, our federal officials, do everything we can to uplift new businesses with our ribbon cuttings. And April 30th through May 6th is recognized as National Small Business Week. So that's the reason for the proclamation. And it reads, whereas the city of Medina recognizes and values the dedication and entrepreneurial, I should have practiced that, spirit of storefront shops that are the backbone of our economy and keep the Ohio and American economy growing stronger. Whereas small business owners have energy and a passion for what they do and preserve the unique culture of small cities. Whereas it is the collaborative mission of the City of Medina, working in partnership with the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce, Main Street Medina, and other organizations to help our businesses grow and create new jobs within Medina. And whereas the President of the United States has proclaimed National Small Business Week every year since 1973, to highlight the programs and services available through the U.S. Small Business Administration and other government agencies. Whereas during the week of April 30th through May 6th, 2023, the U.S. Small Business Administration and the City of Medina are celebrating Small Business Week. And now therefore I, Dennis Hanwell, Mayor of the City of Medina, do hereby proclaim April 30th through May 6th, 2023, as Small Business Week in Medina, and urge all citizens to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements made by small business both locally and nationally. And I present this to you both on behalf of the city. Thank you. Just going to take a picture. Okay. Thank you both.
Okay. Just want to make sure, I didn't want to start without you being ready. Mr. Durham, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are a number of items on the agenda that originated with finance, which I will address when we get there, but other than that, I have no report.
Thank you. Mr. Huber, Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mrs. Marshall, Economic Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you, Lieutenant Markham, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you, Mr. Gladys, Building Official.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you, Mr. Pacoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mr. Worley, Parks and Recreation Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will claim all of their time.
Great.
Wanted to share a couple updates from the rec center as we're kicking off new programs and events here this spring and into summer. I'm going to go through a number of new programs that we have. One being our Playground Play Dates, which is a new program for rec center members and non-members, mainly for families who are looking for playtime for their preschooler but might be struggling to find a connection in the community. So we're taking advantage of our Rascal Room and opening it up for programming where there'll be some structured and free play for pre-K kids. Our second event that we have coming up is June 22nd. We're going to be taking a bus trip for seniors up to the Guardians game. Registration for that can be found on our website at medinarec.org. We'll be leaving at 11:15. And then lastly, our Party in the Park series is coming up soon, but we just finalized everything, so I kind of wanted to run through the list here. This is where the rec center will be hosting free events for the community in the parks throughout town, sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic, Medina Hospital. June 6th, we'll be kicking off the Party in the Parks with a splash into summer at Greenwood Park. June 13th, we will have a Touch a Truck at the rec center. June 21st, we'll have a free pool party at Memorial Park with a DJ. June 27th, we'll have Jungle Bob at Sam Macy Park. July 11th, we'll have Olympic Games at Ray Mellert Park. July 19th, we'll have a pool party again at Memorial Park, which will be free to the community. July 25th is Christmas in July at Huffman Cunningham Park, and August 1st will be our end of summer bash at Greenwood. Again, these are all free to the community, sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic, Medina Hospital. We do have additional vendor spaces and sponsorships available to help offset some of our operational costs, and registration for those can be found on our website at medinarec.org. Last thing I wanted to note is that our pool passes for the outdoor pool and our summer passes for the rec center go on sale May 1st online. So check out our website or go to our Facebook page for more info on all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patton, City Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you, Chief Walters, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mr. Dutton, Planning and Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're continuing the process of creating a multi-use plan for the greater Medina area. At this phase in the planning process, we're working to gather public input. If you'd like to contribute your ideas to find out more information, you can attend the first public meeting on Thursday, May 30th, 6 p.m. here at City Hall, or go to medinaoh.org to fill out the survey. The city is also applying for the program year 2023 Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG funds. We're looking for input regarding the use of these funds, which have been recently used for Medina Transit, city code enforcement, and other programs. If you'd like to propose a project or program, please send your proposal to the Community Development Office at City Hall or my email at adutton@medinaoh.org by May 4th. In addition, a public hearing will also be held regarding CDBG funding on Thursday, May 5th, 1 p.m. here at City Hall. Thank you.
Thank you. Confirmation of council's appointments, we have one. For the Strategic Plan Advisory Committee, Award 4 Representative Shirley Larrabee for a term expiring 12/31/26.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion on the confirmation of council's appointment? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Notices, communications, petitions, there's none. Unfinished business, there's none. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public will be permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during the portion of the council agenda devoted to introduction of visitors. All comments shall be directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there's a group, please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the rear microphone and state their name and address so it can be entered in the minutes. Members of the public will be permitted the opportunity to comment on other portions of the meeting as determined by the chair or by a vote of the majority of council members present. Is there anybody that wishes to address council at this time? You sure? Okay. Introduction and consideration of ordinances and resolutions. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings on the following ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 7723, 7823, Resolution 7923, Ordinance 8023, 8123, 8223, 8323, 8423, 8523, 8623, 8723, and 8823.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Shields?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings of tonight's ordinances and resolutions.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to suspend the rules? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Ordinance 7723, an ordinance amending section 14101 of the codified ordinances of the city of Medina, Ohio, relative to advertising and awarding of contracts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. This originated with a request from Finance. What this ordinance will do is increase the authorities at various levels for purchases, and this is because of price increases. We're seeing a lot of things that didn't used to hit these thresholds are hitting them. So the new thresholds for approvals are up to $2,000 will be by department head, up to $20,000 will be by Board of Control, up to $35,000 will be by the Finance Committee, and then anything over that will have to go to council and through the bid process. And that's up from 1,500, 15,000, and 25.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I think it's time that we keep these updated just because the value of the dollar has changed so much over the past 5 years that, we need to keep it in concert, but of course, we don't need to go overboard. So I think this is a pretty good compromise. Will the clerk please call-
overboard.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 7723 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 7823, an ordinance amending ordinance number 3523 passed February 13th, 2023, decreasing the expenditure to Dunlop and Johnson.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
the emergency clause request I moved to add at this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Discussion on the emergency clause and the ordinance. Mr. Dutton?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is regarding work done by Dunlop and Johnson for work they performed at the Brown Women's Shelter as part of the CDBG Target of Opportunity Grant. It's a reduction of from $141,000 to $139,022. The reduction is due to the availability of remaining grant funding. Thank you.
Any emergency clause?
Yeah, that's been requested as the work has already been completed, and we'd like to get the contractor paid.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause and/or the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on adoption of the emergency clause?
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on adoption of the ordinance?
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Ordinance 7823 passes 7-0.
Resolution 7923, a resolution authorizing participation in the Ohio Department of Transportation Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of sodium chloride or rock salt.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
the emergency clause has been requested. I moved to add at this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Discussion on the emergency clause and the resolution. Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as you stated, this is for authorization to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's purchasing program for salt for 2023-2024 winter season. The emergency clause was requested because we received the notification announcement on March 22nd of this year and must be submitted by May 1st, a copy of the resolution and ordinance by Kathy, the clerk, to them. So that's the reason for the emergency clause. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause and or the resolution? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose. Or Lamb, sorry.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the resolution?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Resolution 7923 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8023, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a 3-year contract with Rain Associates, Inc. for the preparation of the city CAFR in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America, GAAP, for the years ending December 31st, 2022, December 31st, 2023, and December 31st, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. With your permission, I'd like to discuss this one and the next one together. The next one I'll actually discuss first. It's the audit. That's a bid process, but it's not the normal bid process that's run by the city. It's a bid process that's run by the state auditor's office. That's how they handle those, and then they assign that contract. So that was done, and this is just another year of it. It was signed as a 5-year contract. This is just one of the years. The current ordinance, number 80, is for the preparation of financial statements, which we hired the same firm, which is for convenience for getting the work done.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on adoption of the ordinance?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Ordinance 80-23 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8123, an ordinance authorizing expenditure of up to $40,000 to Rain Associates for the preparation of the annual audit for the city of Medina for the fiscal period ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second?
Mr. Durham already discussed this one. Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on adoption of the ordinance?
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 81-23 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8223, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 523 passed January 9, 2023 relative to the job creation grant agreement for Argrati, Inc.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion, Mrs. Marshall?
Thank you, Mr. President. The company has sent a formal letter to withdraw their job creation grant application after consideration of 3 sites, Medina, Ohio, Park Forest, Illinois, and Detroit, Michigan. They determined that their Detroit, Michigan facility was much closer to their suppliers and customers, and hence located the project there. So we would like to withdraw this so it's not on the record.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Ordinance 82-23 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8323, an ordinance amending ordinance number 4823 passed February 27, 2023 relative to the consultant services for the multi-use path plan for the city of Medina, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Shields?
The emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it this time.
My second includes emergency clause?
Discussion on the emergency clause and the ordinance. Mr. Dutton?
Thank you, Mr. President. City Council authorized the use of $50,000 of American Rescue Act plan funds to contract with a consultant to create a multi-use plan. We contracted with a company called Envision for $49,300 for this planning process. Recently, the Medina County Parks District, who is our partner on this project, authorized a $5,000 contribution. So what this ordinance does is splits that $49,300 between ARPA funds and a planning and zoning contract services account in order for it to be reimbursed. The emergency clause is requested as we've already received these funds from Medina County Parks. Thanks.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the ordinance and emergency clause? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Ordinance 83-23 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8423, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 2417, passed February 27, 2017, pertaining to the Memorial Park swimming pool rates.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance would approve an increase to the pool rates with the intention of recovering some of our operational costs that have increased due to inflation. The rationale behind this rate increase was a comparative study of the rate structures of several outdoor pools in Northeast Ohio, as well as a desire from our staff to keep the rates the same as they are at the rec center for consistency with training staff. So the request is to raise the daily admission $1 for individuals, seniors, those on lunch program, and/or the camp group rate. The season pass rate will go up $25 for an individual, or $50 for a family of up to 5 members. And then our daily pass punch card will be consistent as it is at the rec center at $30. Also in this ordinance is the ability to allow rec center members limited access to the outdoor pool for special circumstances like our indoor pool closures, promotional events, or during times of low attendance where we already have the outdoor pool staffed. I did want to mention to the public that scholarships and sponsorships are available for both the rec center and the outdoor pool, and we will continue to work with nonprofit groups to get the word out about those opportunities. In the past, we've used Cups Cafe, Feeding Medina County, and the Medina City Schools to help those in need be aware of the assistance that is available. So if you have a financial hardship, don't hesitate to contact the rec center. We have some opportunities that we might be able to help with. Thank you.
I know Ms. Hare received a few emails regarding the ability to receive some, help regarding some of the increases in the rates in the pool, and I think that'll assist and help solve those problems, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on adoption of the, the ordinance, yeah.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Ordinance 8423 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8523, an ordinance repealing and replacing the program rates and the pool rental rates for the Memorial Park Pool.
Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Worley?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the second part of the municipal pool changes. We are requesting to change our cabana rental to a party package, very much like we do at the rec center, where we can put the cabana rental opportunity online, and those who are interested in having a party at the pool can reserve it, and it includes up to 30 guests at no additional charge. Also with this request is to change our hourly rate for before or after hours pool rental. This is for groups that might be interested in reserving the pool before we open or after we close. We increased that from $75 an hour to $150 an hour, plus however many guards are required for the group. Additionally, there is included to have all of the programming that's at the outdoor pool fall under the same pricing policy as the rest of the rec center, to just continue to further our work together at the outdoor pool and the rec.
Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Ordinance 8523 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8623, an ordinance authorizing the increase of the expenditure to Dixon Engineering, Inc. for the Service Department.
Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. In 2020, we obtained a PO in the amount of $23,600 with Dixon Engineering, and this was for the purpose of inspection, preparing bid documents and contract documents for the South Court Water Tower. Currently, there's $9,560 on the PO. It required, the work and the job required additional inspections in order to complete beyond the original scope. So we're submitting this request in an effort to remit payment to the vendor. The new total will be $28,440.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Ordinance 8623 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8723, an ordinance authorizing the finance director to make certain fund advances.
Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
This is to cover the expenditures for some grant projects. This is the most common way that grant projects work. We spend the money, so we have to loan the money to the grant fund, spend it, and then we submit for reimbursement, and then we repay the loan.
Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Coin.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 8723 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 8823, an ordinance amending ordinance number 22122, passed December 12, 2022, amendments to the 23 budget.
Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. A number of these are in relation to the grants that we discussed with the last ordinance, and then there's a bunch of transfers.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on adoption of the ordinance.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
Ordinance 8823 passes 7-0.
Council comments. Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two things, and offer my sympathy to the Peterson family for their loss, and other than that, be kind to one another. Thank you.
Any additional council comments?
Mr. President?
Mr. Rose?
Thank you. I too want to extend my sympathies to Pastor Peterson and his family, the family of Pastor Peterson, excuse me, and to his congregation at Fellowship Baptist Church. I'd like to thank Nino and Patrick for their stop, drop, and roll today on some inquiries that I had, and a personal visit by one guy. Helped me out. Okay, thank you. And it's been brought to my attention that some people out on social media are thinking that the city's not doing anything about the deer problem. We have, this council did pass an ordinance, and a group of citizens chose to stall that a little bit and put it out on a ballot. That will be on the ballot for November, in November, because it needs to be on a general election ballot. And so it's now up to the residents to do the thing that city's council tried to do, and that's, if you want the deer population taken care of, pass the ordinance. Thank you.
Mr. Lamb?
Well, with regard to the deer issue, that was a group of about 40 people that got together and decided that they did want to address the population of deer, but they wanted it to be addressed in a way that was reasonable, responsible, and most of all, a way that is safe. And I don't know that this is a good place for us to sit and campaign while we are here at City Council, but I think there will be a very muscular campaign to ensure that what Council did pass is addressed in the general election upcoming in November. And we'll have a lot of time to discuss it in those weeks preceding the election. Thank you. And secondly, I would make a motion to adopt a resolution that council comments should simply be given by Councilman Simpson, because I think he gives the best representation of something that's important, and I would be willing to forego all my comments for the rest of the time I'm here.
Thank you,
And just
Bill.
let Councilman
That's
Simpson
okay. No,
do
that's
that.
okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Any other council comments? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.